Chino is my hometown.
Chino is happiness.
Chino is awesome.
Chino is blessed.
You can enjoy your quality of life here in Chino.
Chino is a community that truly cares.
When people need help, neighbors step up.
Chino is business potential.
Chino is a growing city with a small hometown feel.
Chino is my soul.
Chino is home.
So the 2020 State of the City is definitely different because of the coronavirus and doing this whole thing virtually. It's especially negatively impacted our businesses, and this gives us a real opportunity to help support our businesses, help showcase what the City of Chino is doing for our community, and talk about how we can make Chino better for the future.
The coronavirus pandemic took us by surprise, but it's our responsibility as city leaders and staff to prepare so that our city is able to continue to serve residents when the unexpected occurs. Thankfully, we were ready for the challenge.
For a brief amount of time in March, from March to about May, we ended up having to close some of our city facilities. In preparation, while we had those facilities closed, we really worked hard to enhance our safety measures here in the city. So installing plexiglass barriers, making sure we had personal protective equipment such as face masks, hand sanitizer, disinfectants, coordinating testing events that were free. And at the very onset of the pandemic, when there was so much unknown, there were so many people who wanted to give back.
Churches, nonprofits, and businesses all came together to provide donations and support the city and their neighbors.
So one of the things that I love is when businesses partner together to help support one another. TransTech is a business that stepped up.
TransTech Engineers was founded in 1989, and we are a full-service municipal engineering and building and safety company. We provide various engineering and building and safety related services to cities within the greater Los Angeles area. So for TransTech, we are all about community engagement, civic engagement, and giving back. It's really part of who we are as a culture, giving back to the communities that we serve in, the communities we live in, the communities that we're headquartered in. So right when COVID hit, we really brainstormed to see what could we do to really help and support a lot of the industries that were most impacted. And we realized that the restaurant industry was one of the most impacted. And how could we bridge that to show our appreciation to the frontline workers and the first responders? So we partnered up with the chamber and we asked them to help us identify a restaurant. And in this case, it was R&R Breakfast Spot. We made a large order and we personally delivered those meals to the police department to thank the men and women who help keep our community safe. Chino is a community that truly cares.
The relationship between our residents and our police department is not like anything you see on the news at all. Not at all. It's a very close-knit community.
Chino is leading the way for modern-day policing across the world. We're living at a pivotal time in society right now where law enforcement and the community are separated at an all-time high. Growing up, I had some bad run-ins with police officers. I was harassed on a few occasions, some of my family members harassed. And so when I became a police officer, I realized that, hey, police officers aren't all bad. And I also realized that I can still be the same old Ryan, even though I have a badge and a gun. And so when that light bulb went off in my head, I said, you know what if I went out and talked to other people about being a police officer? Maybe I can change their perception of law enforcement. So one of the things we do to work with children is I go into schools all across the country, quite frankly. I go in there, I do this initiative workshop, and the sole purpose of that workshop is to go out there and tell people who I am, what I do, why I do it, put them through scenarios of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. I start seeing people that once disliked police officers, like police officers. I start seeing people that didn't never want to be a police officer, now want to be a police officer. And every single place I go, I always mention the work that we're doing here in the city of Chino. Everybody may not know about the city of Chino, but I can tell you one thing, that this is a city that they need to know about it because we are on the front head of what communities should look like moving forward in the future. The youth, if they want to go out and change the world, have empathy, care for people, if you do that, we can all change the world together.
Our city investments aren't only about roads, public facilities, public safety, and development. We also have to invest in the young people in our community to become active, productive members of our society.
Everything we do involves our youth. So all of our programs, everything that we do every day is to make sure that our youth have everything they need to grow up to be successful adults.
That's our lifeblood, is our youth. So it's what makes Chino a great community. Yeah, our school districts, our youth programs, our youth sports, It's what makes us great.
And hopefully with our leadership, we'll make them into great adults that can carry on this city's future for many years to come.
So I go to Don Lugo High School and I'm involved in the engineering program there, so it's my 4th year. And I'm also a 4-year cheerleader, and I've been cheer captain for 2 years on the team. I've always been involved with the city, so I wanted to join the Teen Advisory Committee to have a bigger role in the city and actually do bigger projects that help the community. The Teen Advisory Committee is basically a group of teens from different high schools, and we plan big community service projects. So for instance, right now we are planning a hygiene drive. Since the Chino Care Closet is in need of supplies for hygiene, we are gathering them and then we're gonna give them to the Care Closet. It's a way to reach out with others and form connections with city workers and just make new friends from other high schools and see how big of an impact you can make on the community by just like working together and like finding solutions to problems. Chino's invested in me by giving me a lot of opportunities. There's so much for kids to do here, and there's so much that you can get involved with. I first started off with the Teen Opportunity Program, so it's also a volunteering program where you can do cooking classes with kids and summer camps and volunteer for like city events. I think I just like the feeling of helping others, and I like all the workers that work here, and I've made so many like connections and bonds with people, and that's what I like.
Chino offers so many opportunities for youth to be involved in the community. I can't think of any other city that has the amount of activities that we have here. We have the Chino Youth Museum, Tiny Top programs. You have sports programs from the basketball to soccer to football.
Well, I think one of our most successful youth programs is going to be our boxing club. I think what it does is it shows kids how to overcome difficult tasks. You're not always going to win, but it's how you get up and move forward that's important.
You want the youth to be participatory because leadership does not begin after high school. Leadership begins now.
I joined the Community Services Commission because I didn't feel that the city had a youthful voice, and I wanted to be that representation for the youth in my community because we are the future of Chino. The Community Services Commission is a 7-member board of community members here in our city that have volunteered their time to not only advise the City Council and represent the City Council, but also advise our Community Services Department. We need a Community Services Commission because we oversee so much here in the city. I oversee the boxing board and 3 parks in our community, the Sebring, McLeod, and Mountain View Park. Living in Chino has benefited me in so many ways. Not just volunteering, but being able to join the commission has changed my life. It's made me want to pursue a career in civic services and be like all those great staff that we see here. I mean, they're all like my superheroes because they're part of so much that happens in our city that people don't realize, and they're able to provide for these people and kind of make this whole city run.
The coronavirus changed the operations by not allowing us to directly engage with our community. That was a big shift for us.
There's a lot of virtual programs going on, and it's been fun to watch.
Being able to go participate in these activities was huge in the healing process as far as getting through this pandemic. I know our community services department has really helped out our seniors, and they're feeding probably about just under 300 seniors, and we could not do that without our nonprofit organizations and our faith-based organizations.
We're lucky to be home to so many great organizations that keep our kids physically active and engaged in positive educational experiences.
Seroptimus is a global volunteer organization that provides women and girls with needed education and training that provides them access to empowerment. And we find that by helping the women, we help their families, especially the boys in their family. When they have a strong family, then they do better in life. One of our special programs is our Stepping Up program. It is a one-day conference for 6th grade girls who are transitioning into 7th grade. And we have found that when they go into junior high school, they will encounter many experiences that they weren't used to in grammar school. And so we want to prepare them for this transition. And the city has always been there to back us up. They provide us with wonderful speakers to talk to the girls. And Chino invests in youth by providing incredible programs that a lot of cities around us don't provide. And I think that that's what makes us very special.
I Pity the Bull is another Chino treasure that teaches us important lessons about kindness and empathy and recognizing the good inside of each of us.
The city of Chino invests in me by giving me a chance. I Pity the Bull is a nonprofit organization that is based in humane education and dog rescue. So Stella, We got a message on Facebook about an injured pregnant dog in the city of Compton. Despite all the stuff that she's gone through, the bad things that humans have done to her, she's still here and she still trusts us. She is our organization in a nutshell. Because what you have dogs here that are abused and mistreated, but yet they still find it in their heart to forgive. I think with kids, when you show them stories of abuse with a dog, they can connect to that. They can connect to being bullied, being left out, not feeling wanted. Our lessons basically comes down to, if you wouldn't do it to a dog, why would you do it to a person? We go into schools, we use shelter dogs, specifically pit bulls, to bring that home. And I think if we could be a little bit like dogs, I think we'd have a lot less problems in this world. The future of Chino is in kindness.
The city is always planning for the future. It's important that we take a look at what our future needs are going to be, because we know our population is increasing.
Well, the biggest investments we're doing right now is our Parks and Facilities Master Plan and our Civic Center Master Plan, because we are growing so fast. We need to keep up with that. We need to take a look into the future and see where do we want to be in 20 years, and we need to make sure that we get there.
And you have to also think about what the costs are associated with that. What is the infrastructure going to cost? The sewers, the water, the buildings. Can people afford the housing? What is the density zoning for the residential areas? So that's all important.
We're making huge investments. We budgeted over $60 million over the next 5 years to invest in our water infrastructure. And we haven't really seen any decline in development activity. Our planners, our engineers are busier today than they ever been.
By keeping in close contact with our community and planning strategically for the long term, Chino's future remains bright.
The future of Chino is very promising for everyone who resides here and our businesses.
The future of Chino is the youth.
Chino youth are the future. It's simple.
The future of Chino is youth.
The future of Chino is going to be big.
One final note. Most of the 2020 State of the City video was filmed before the coronavirus pandemic. So much of how things were in Chino has changed, but some things remain the same. Our community's generosity and willingness to extend a helping hand, our appreciation for our small businesses, and our council and staff's commitment to public service on behalf of our residents. The City of Chino has been around for over 110 years and has gotten through a lot. We will get through this as well, like we always do, together, with mutual respect, a can-do spirit, responsible planning, and resilience. Here's to a happy, healthy, hope-filled 2021.